This location we have for exhibition is a gallery and an artist studio founded by a blind artist Takahashi Mitsushima. It used to be a Nishijin kimono textile factory and a showroom until this year. When it closed, Mitsushima-san had a vision to use this place to engage people on the topic of disabilities through art. In the spring, when I learned about his plan and saw how beautiful and meaningful this place was, I immediately proposed to KYOTOGRAPHIE and to Marie Liesse to do her exhibition here.
The beginning of this project is a story of friendship. A story of friendship between two young boys that met at school when they were 12, Arnaud, my husband, and Jeanlin Pat, his friend who was blind. Years after, when Jeanlin passed away, we realized we didn't have any good pictures of him. So I decided I should trace his childhood through other kids in his old school. So I took pictures of these kids we would have liked to keep for us, pictures of this very special childhood. All the kids photographed in this exhibition cannot see it, but yet they're very happy to know that it exists. It's the meaning of all this project. Photography has more than just visual qualities. When I started the project, I didn't know anyone over there, any kids or teacher, so we had to get to know each other, and I thought the best way to do that was to take group pictures. So we organized group pictures in the very special hall in the Institut National des Jeunes Aveugles, in la salle André Marchal, near the grand piano, and there we did group pictures so I could get to know the kids and they could get to know me, but without being so shy because they were all together. Childhood and friendship were really the base of all this work. It was my biggest inspiration. In fact, it's how I dared knock on the INJA's door, on the Institut National des Jeunes Aveugles door. Because I was very shy to enter that world. I didn't know if I was able to take pictures of this very special childhood. And what gave me the strength of doing that was the memory of Jeanlin, of this friendship with Arnaud, and childhood. Because I love so much taking pictures of the kids, of their joy, their anxiety. So I felt I could do this work. Of course, at the Institut National des Jeunes Aveugles, kids are very special. And it was sometimes very difficult to take pictures over there. For instance, when I had to go to take pictures of Joseph in his new school, and he was not so happy about his new school, it was quite sad moments to see him all alone in his lycée, in his high school, not making friends. It was a very sad moment. But I thought it was very important to take pictures of these kids and teenagers, because it was how we could get that blind kids to be visible to the world.
Disabilities are not visible at all in Japan. So when Marie Liesse told me that Amel's mother was very positive for her photos to be taken and to be presented, it was inspiring to me. A couple of children have stopped in front of this photo to ask about Amel because she looks different from other kids. And it made me happy because this photo gave us a chance to explain to these Japanese audience, especially the younger ones, that it is okay for Amel to be there. When I proposed the title of the exhibition, Story of a Bridge Between Two Worlds to Marie Liesse, of course I had the story between Arnaud and Jeanlin in mind, but also when Marie Liesse started to take portraits of the children at the National Institute for Blind Youth, a new bridge started to emerge between the world of sighted and the world of the visually impaired.
Louis and Joseph had chosen to be together on the picture because they were very good friends. And they chose a very special place, the metro. So you have to know that taking the metro is one of the training courses that you take at school So you learn how to move alone in a city. You learn to be independent. It's a long and difficult apprenticeship. First you learn how to take the bus, then the metro when you grow up. And Louis and Joseph had never taken the metro alone before, so for them this metro was freedom. So we organized this outing with their teacher, and Louis and Joseph were always smiling. They were so happy. I took a lot of pictures, and when I gave to Louis his print, he told me, very proud, Marie Liesse, I really like your picture, it's very sharp. So, of course, I was a bit surprised when Louis told me that, because Louis is visually impaired, and I didn't know he could see if a picture was sharp or not. But I think that what he meant is that what was very sharp was that very happy moment he had with his friend Joseph in the metro. It was a sharp memory of happiness, happy moment with him, and it was all the meaning of this project, that the picture has not only visual qualities, but it has more. Like here, it's a happy moment, a happy memory.
To present her project in Japan, I wanted to follow in her footsteps. I wanted to realize this kind of exchange and dependence between the community of the sighted and the community of the visually impaired in Japan, during the production phase as well as the showing phase of the exhibition. Not only the development of the tactile photo, but also about small details like inclination angle of the table or the way the captions are written. For all of these things, I engaged the artist Takahashi Mitsushima and museum researcher Kojiro Hirose, who are both blind, to give me feedback. Surprisingly, they were both very eager to get involved. They were especially curious because photography is one medium that is least familiar for them. What was interesting was that while they had limited visual memories of the light, they each had very specific tactile memories of the light. So for example, based on how I described the sunlight, the discovery of a sweet story by the little girl in this picture, they advised very specific textures to be used to express this gradation of the yellow made by the shadows and the light. For the audience, I wanted to employ a process that would allow them to transcend beyond their imagination and individual viewing capability by linking the two communities. So in collaboration with Museum Access View, we developed a program where a sighted audience and the visually impaired audience are paired in a group of 3 to observe the works by exchanging their impressions of the works. The dialogue between the people who use different senses enable the audience to expand their imagination and appreciation for the works beyond their own capacity.
Marina and all the Kyotographie team worked a lot on the tactile prints and the ways to share photography with visually impaired people for that exhibition. And I would love to continue building that with them, to find ways to show photography for visually impaired and to continue building bridges between the two worlds. And of course, I would love to come to Kyoto and take pictures of the visually impaired children, so the story of a bridge between two worlds would grow bigger.